Well, the story of the YP-389 and the 701 is sort of a classic example of the way that the U-boat war was being fought off the East Coast. The YP-389 was a small converted fishing trawler that was sort of cobbled together to meet a threat that it was never designed for. And as a result, it was out here patrolling the minefield that was meant as a defensive action against the U-boats. The U-701 actually believed that the YP was tracking it, which wasn't the case. It was simply going up and down, back and forth, patrolling the field. But as a result, it was restricting the operations of the 701, which the captain did not like. So he decided that rather than waste a torpedo on such a small craft, that he would give the deck gun crew a chance to operate, and they ended up getting in about an hour-and-a-half long exchange of gunfire on the surface just off of Hatteras, and ultimately the 389 itself was lost. A few days after the engagement with the YP-389, the 701 was operating off of Hatteras, looking for more merchant vessels to sink, when it was spotted by Lieutenant Harry Kane, Jr. He was piloting a U.S. Army Air Force plane out of Cherry Point, North Carolina, and the crew on the conning tower of the U-701, they're supposed to watch a quadrant of air, and one of the watchmen spotted the aircraft and said, "Oh, I've spotted it too late." They knew that they saw it too late, and a series of depth charges were dropped, and as a result, it destroyed the 701. The crew of the 701 had to abandon ship, and the majority of them were actually able to get to the surface. There's about 44 crewmen. Most of those guys were seen on the surface after the attack, but because he was in an aircraft, there was no ability to really render any aid to the survivors. He dropped a few supplies and things, but there was really no opportunity to help them out. And as a result, these 40 individuals that were observed on the surface drifted over about 90 sea miles for 2 days, and by the time they were spotted by a blimp and picked up, there was only 7 of them left, who were taken into Norfolk as POWs for the remainder of the war. Aside from these being these wonderful historic resources that really tell a pretty amazing story about the Outer Banks and Americans' involvement in World War II, these sites have also become amazing resources for the state of North Carolina to go and actually visit these sites. The U-701 is at about 120 feet of water. The 85 is only at about 95 feet of water. So these are sites that are accessible to the recreational diving community, and they've become these beautiful artificial reefs teeming with life, and have been sort of a staple for the diving community off of the Outer Banks for the last 30 years.